Hey there, third graders. This is Caroline Smith, Mrs. Smith. Today we are doing Unit 4, Lesson 17, and today we're talking about solving multi-step word problems. So some of these word problems have more than one thing going on. So you have to sort of find the secret question and then use that answer to the secret question with some other number and find the actual answer that, so you really have to be thinking about what you're doing. So let's jump in and get started. We're on page 261, just so you know. So solve each problem, label your answers. Isabel bought 36 pieces of fruit for her soccer team. There are 16 apples, 12 bananas, and the rest are pears. How many pieces of fruit are pears? So I know, I'm going to draw a little picture. I know there's a total of 36 pieces. There's the pears, and then there's the 16 apples and 12 bananas. So the secret question is, how many not pear fruits are there? And that will be this addition, first step, and then we will take our 36 and subtract that. So a fancy way to write that would be 36 minus parentheses 16 plus 12 close parentheses equals P for pears, and then equals number pairs. So let's go ahead and do our first step in the parentheses. 16 plus 12. 6 plus 2 is 8, and 1 plus 1 is 2. Now we're going to take that answer and subtract it from 36. 36 take away 28. 6 take away 8 is not gonna work, so we have to ungroup. Leave 2 10s there. Now we have 16. 1 16 take away 8, using my doubles fact knowledge, is 8. And then 2 take away 2 is 0, so she brought 8 pears. Okay, let's do the next one. Toby has a collection of sports cards. He has 13 baseball cards, 16 basketball cards, and 14 football cards. Toby sold 15 cards and he bought 17 hockey cards. What is the total number of cards that Toby, or in Toby's collection now? So first, let me think about this. I have to figure out how many cards he had before he started selling things, right? So I'm going to add those things up, and then I'm going to subtract what he sold, and then what will I do? I will add what he bought, okay? And then I'll have the number. So I'm going to put that in my equation. So first, he's going to do 13 plus 16 plus 14, and then he will subtract 15, and then he will add 17, and that will be our number, our number of cards. We'll say that equals C. So let's do that first step in our parentheses. 13 plus 16 plus 14. 6 plus 4 makes a 10, plus 3 more, so it's 13. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 4. So now I know this amount is 43. I'm going to take away 15. 3 minus 5, not going to work. Have to ungroup. Leave 3 of our 10s there, bring one of them over to join what's in the ones place. 13 take away 5, well, that's just 8, and then 3 take away 1 is 2. Am I done yet? No, because all I have done so far is found the total number of cards and then what he sold, so this is what he has now, and then he bought 17 more cards. So then I'm going to take my 28 and I will add it to 17. 8 plus 7 is 15. 2 plus 1 is 4. 45 cards. Okay. Number 3. There are 15 more boys than girls in the school band. There are 27 girls. How many students are in the school band? So, I have to figure out, I have to add my boys and my girls. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my girls, 27, and I'll add that to my boys, which I know is 27 plus 15, right? It's the number of girls plus 15 more, and that's the number of boys. So that's my girls and my boys, and that will equal my students, which we will have a number, and we will label. And I like to put these little lines on there so it doesn't look like a 5. Students. Okay. All right, so let's do this part first, the 27 plus 15. 7 plus 5 is 12. 2 plus 1 is 4. So 42 boys, and then I'll add that to my girls. So 42 plus 27. It's a big band. 2 plus 7 is 9, and 4 plus 2 is 6. So 69 students. Okay, and if you wanted to draw comparison bars for this one, that's also completely a good strategy to do. I just didn't choose to do it in this particular one. Finn delivered 13 pizzas. Then he delivered 18 more pizzas. Altogether, he delivered 6 fewer pizzas than Liz. How many pizzas did Liz deliver? So we know that his whole amount, which is the 13 plus the 8, that's what he did. That amount is 6 less than what Liz did. So if we add 6 to his whole amount, then we will have Liz's whole amount. So first, I'm going to do his whole amount, which is the 13 plus 8. And then I will add that 6. And then I will do equal sign and then a cursive L. So it's the, I guess it could be for Liz, or no, I'll do a P for pizza, because that's what we're talking about. So that'll be a number of pizzas. Okay, so let's do 13 plus 8. 3 plus 8, 11. 1 plus 1, 2. So he did 21, and then we're going to add that 6. 21 plus 6. 1 plus 6 is 7, and 2 plus nothing is 2. So Liz delivered 27 pizzas. Okay. Number 5. Majid built 7 car models and 14 airplane models. Jasmine built 9 more car models than Majid did, and 6 fewer airplane models than how many models did Jasmine build in all? So I have to figure out how many car models and how many airplane models that she did, and then add those up, right, to get the total number of stuff that she did. But we only know her amounts in comparison to Majid's. So I'm going to first do the car models. So he built 7 and she did 9 more than him. So to find her number of car models, I'll do 7 plus 9. And then over here we'll do airplane models. So he did 14 and she did 6 fewer than him. So we'll do 14, take away 6. And then we will add those two amounts together, the car models that Jasmine did and the airplane models that Jasmine did, and then we will have our total number of models. And you'll notice I'm using what we talked about before, the DOS, where there's the order of operations, right? Order of operations. This is really important when we're doing our multi-step problems. Parentheses and exponents, so those are on the same ranking. Multiplication and division, those are on the same level. And then addition and subtraction, those are on the same level. And if you're dealing with one or the other of something on the same level, you go from left to right. Okay? And that's how it's like a big rule in math, so we all end up with the same answer, because math is supposed to be predictable. So that's something that we use so everyone can, doesn't matter where you are, you can get the same answer. Okay, so let's do 7 plus 9, which is 16. And then we have 14 take away 6. So then that's just 8. So 16 plus 8. 6 plus 8 is 14. So 24. 24 models. All right. If you're feeling good about all of this, I would like you to, well, it's a little bit different. If you're feeling good about this, that's great. We'll continue talking about multi-step problems and other things, and in these ones as well. But here we're using some rounding to decide if the answer is reasonable, and then we're writing yes or no, and then we will find the answer to see if you're correct. So if you're feeling good, just try to remember the rounding. We'll do this one together, and then you can try to work ahead, but you're welcome to stay with me. Okay, so Nathan counted 28 large dogs and 37 small dogs at the park. He said he saw 55 dogs in all. So 28 is about 30, and 37 is about 40. So if you add those two together, 30 plus 40, you should get 70. He got 55. So I'm going to say no, and then we'll do the actual answer. 28 plus 37. 8 plus 7 is 15, and then 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 1 more is 6. So 28 plus 37 equals 65 dogs. Okay, there are 122 third and fourth grade students at Cedar Creek Elementary School. There are 67 students in third grade and 55 students in fourth grade. So if this is about 120, and this is about 70, and this is about 60, 70 plus 60 equals 130, and this is saying 120. So I'm going to say no, and then we'll add it up. Well, I'm going to say maybe. It's pretty close. Let's see. 67 plus 55. It's not an exact answer, but it's not crazy wrong. Okay. 7 plus 5 is 12, and then 6 plus 5 is 11, plus 1 more is 12. So really, it is right. Yes. 67 plus 55 equals 122 students. Okay. The pet supermarket sold 245 bags of dog food, 167 bags of cat food. The supermarket sold 312 bags of pet food in all. So let's say we have, that goes to 250, and this goes to 170. 250 plus 170, 5 plus 7, 12. Ooh, 2 plus 1 plus 1 more is 4. So that difference, I think, is saying that this is a not reasonable estimate. So no, exclamation mark and underlined. Not close. Now let's do the real math. 245 plus 167. 5 plus 7 is 12, and then 4 plus 6 is 10 plus 1 more, so it's 11. And then, yeah, so they're off by a full 100. It was 412. So I'll say 412 bags equals 245 plus 167. All right. The distance from Charleston, West Virginia to Biloxi, Mississippi is 913 miles. Benjamin drove 455 miles from Charleston to Athens, Georgia. Then he drove 458 miles from Athens to Biloxi. So 910 or 913 would be about 910. So we're asking, is 910 close enough to 460 plus 460? So let's add those up. 460 plus 460. 0 plus 0 is 0. 6 plus 6 is 12. And then, yeah, so is 920 pretty close to 913? I'd say yes. And then we'll do the real math. 455 plus 458. Okay. So 5 plus 8 is 13. 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 1 more is 11. 4 plus 4 is 8, plus 1 more is 9. So it's exactly right. You might be wondering, why bother seeing if an answer is reasonable? And the point of this is this rounding portion, eventually you'll be able to do that in your head. So then when you're like looking over your test before you turn it in, you'll be like, wait, okay, so 460-ish, 460-ish, 920-ish. Yeah, that makes sense. But if you notice, wait a second, 250-ish plus 170-ish, I got 420, and I wrote down 312. Hang on, I think I made a mistake. That right there is the entire point of this sort of estimation thing. So you can sort of look over your work or a partner's work and quickly identify where a mistake might be. Okay, so 455 plus 458 equals 913 miles. Okay. There were 432 people at the basketball game. 257 people sat on the home team side. 175 people sat on the visiting team side. So this is saying is 180-ish, 180 plus 260-ish. Does that equal like 430? Well, let's find out. So 180 plus 260, 0 plus 0, 0. 6 plus 8, 14. And 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 1 more is 4. So 440 compared to 432. I think that's pretty reasonable, right? It's like really close. So yes, and then we'll do the real math. 175 plus 257. And both of these numbers, you'll notice we rounded up. And our answer was a little bit higher than what their answer was. So that's another thing to keep in mind. 5 plus 7 is 12. And then 5 plus 7 is 12 again. Plus 1 more, 13. And then 1 plus 2 is 3. Plus 1 more is 4. So then we can say 175 plus 257 does in fact equal 432 people. Try this last one if you'd like before I start it. The Pecos River is 234 miles longer than the Yellowstone River. The Yellowstone River is 692 miles long. The Pecos River is 862 miles long. So let's do a little rounding there. We're saying that the Pecos is longer than the Yellowstone. So that 230 goes in this difference bar. We'll round that to 230. The Yellowstone is about 700. So 700 plus 230, I'm getting 930, and this is about 830. So I'm gonna say no, and then I'll do the real math. 692 plus 234. 2 plus 4 is 6. 9 plus 3 is 12. And then 6 plus 2, it was going to be 8, but that 12 tens, right? That 10 joining the hundreds place, 10 tens, makes it 9. So we were off by 100 there. So 692 plus 234 equals 926 miles. All right, now go check and see if you have an assignment, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day. Bye, everybody.